Hey everybody, welcome back to Walking with Jesus Daily. This is the recording for day 337, and we are running through the lives of the apostles, the very, very, very abbreviated lives of the apostles. This is just to get us thinking. This is just to get us ready for what is next. We have finished an incredible year, a year that started with the words that Jesus said that we're supposed to pray for workers for the harvest, and then to go through and kind of take a deeper look at our own faith. And then once we decided to take a little deeper look at our own faith, hear the words of Jesus, the words that said, repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, the words that said, come and see, the words that said, follow me. And by looking carefully into these words, we have decided or didn't decide that we were going to follow Jesus after his baptism into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights of testing. That was a very trying time. We did that. Some of you did not. Some never made it through that. And that's okay. That's okay. There will be another time. This recording will always be around. At least until someone destroys it, I guess. So the timing isn't always perfect in our lives. Sometimes we're just flat out not ready. Sometimes we are. And if you made it through that 40 days and 40 nights, we then went into the life of Jesus from the beginning. Well, from the beginning of his earthly life to the end of his earthly life, to the ascension, after the resurrection, after the death. And now we're at this point where we're waiting with the instructions from Jesus for what's next. And this is a weird time period of about a week for the apostles. For us, it's going to be a little bit longer than that, and it's going to feel a little bit longer than that. However, the truth of the matter is that Jesus promised to send the Helper, and he did. But in the moments that we have right now, we're reflecting on the lives of the apostles. Who were they? Why did Jesus pick them? How did they die? We're doing this mostly because Jesus told Peter how he was going to die, how he was going to glorify God in his death. Peter wanted to know about John, and Jesus said, in his own words, mind your business. You follow me. You have your hands full in just following me. So let's keep you focused on that, and I will do with the other apostles how I plan on doing with the other apostles. We have so far run through that's just a habit. Matthew, right? Was one of the latest with Simon the Zealot. We've run through Philip and Nathaniel because they kind of go together. Peter, Andrew, James, and John. And as we continue on this list of people, some are better known than others, and some are less known than others. But today we're going to talk about Thomas. Thomas gets a bad rap, known as Doubting Thomas, is what everybody calls him. One of my absolute favorite verses of Thomas was when Jesus is to return to Bethany to raise Lazarus from the dead. And they just narrowly escaped, I believe, being stoned or trying to be put to death in Jerusalem. And they kind of got out of there. But Bethany is only a couple miles from Jerusalem. And they were like, we can't go back to Bethany. Were you not just there? They wanted to kill us. And Thomas basically said, we'll go with you, Lord. And if we die with you, we die with you. And I think it would have been easier for the apostles to have accepted death with Jesus than to have had to know that Jesus was going to die or watch him die, and then they themselves have to live. have to live out a life of wonder. Jesus put that to rest by resurrecting and appearing to them, but he did not appear where Thomas was the first time. He appeared where Thomas was the next time. And Thomas told the apostles, I'm not going to believe. It doesn't matter what you say unless I see him myself and put my hands in his nail spots and in his hands, and unless I can touch his side, I won't believe. Flat out won't believe. I don't care what you say. I don't care whatever. I have to see it for myself. This was a great lesson for all of us. It was not done on accident. It was done on purpose. Jesus knew when to appear. He could have appeared at any time, right? He appeared when Thomas was not there. He did not do this on purpose to what do they say? Throw shade or whatever on Thomas. It was for a lesson for all of us. See, we don't get this luxury that Thomas got. But what we do get is the truth. What we do get is to have faith. What we do get is to believe without seeing. That's faith. That's faith. We have to remember that Thomas's faith in Jesus after he saw him was enough to send him traveling to Syria and to Iraq preaching the gospel. It says that he eventually ended up in India. What is this? Where the Marthoma Christian tradition, which I don't know what that is, Marthoma, Christian tradition, considers him to be their founder. They say that Thomas died by stabbing at the hands of 4 soldiers. Now, true or not, I don't know. What this tells us is that the apostles went on and they preached the gospel no matter what, no matter where they went, and most of them were martyred for this. This talks about that he was probably the most active in the area east of Syria. And this there's some tradition that has him preaching as far as India, as far east as India. And again, the Marthoma Christians revere him as their founder, kind of like several churches that Paul started would call him their founder, and Thomas and Paul, I'm certain, would call Jesus their founder. They just brought the gospel there. It wasn't their gospel. It's his. It's his good news. And many there claim that he died when he was pierced with a spear. So that could be stabbing or a spear or whatever it might be. Here's what we know about Thomas. Thomas went and preached the gospel. But here's what else we know about Thomas. Is that when Thomas believed, when Thomas's faith was strong, he said the words, "My Lord and my God." He said the words, "We'll just die with you." Right? The words that he said and the things that he meant were full and true. We will go and we will die with him. You can believe these words of Thomas because he went and lived this out. Sometimes we ask God to see. And if we look close enough, he appears right in front of us. It may not be in the way that we ask for, that's specific like it was here for Thomas. But it may very well be in a way that is so evident for us to know. We're told that if we seek God with our whole heart, that we'll see Him. We know that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And we know that if we flee from the devil, if we resist him, he will flee from us. And if we draw near to God, he will draw near to us. None of this requires sight or feeling or anything else. It requires us seeking him out fully. If you feel distant from God, I assure you, it's not him. It is you. So seek him out, purify your heart, and draw near. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.